right, Saturday morning of our long weekend, the last part of my vacation out on Bud Miller. Got a lot done yesterday. So, last thing we did, will be the first thing I talk about this morning, is this shelf that you see there. That shelf was made of particle board before and runs all the way out underneath the frame in the front and on the sides. So that was a little bit tough to get out and a challenge to make a new one, because as you can see over here on the wall, there's lots of wires there, and the wires of course were going through the board, so we had to create a channel on the board for the wires to go into. But that was the last thing we did last night, so shelf's in, looks good. Just drilled my head for the 400th time. Denise made these cutouts yesterday to mount that shelf. Of course, that shelf was load bearing, but now it's in, bearing the load. You can see the wires there. So, got all that done and put all the paneling in. Both walls. Totally done. Except I missed the light switch right there. I'm gonna have to cut that in later. So you can see the difference in the panels. One's front and one's back. Those are the back side of the panels because we're going to be putting a backsplash in and hanging a cabinet there and then wallpapering the back. So paint in the front panel or the middle panel and wallpaper in the back panel, and that'll just make for easier application. But we wanted some texture up here in the front, and we have these grooves in the panel. We're still going to paint up here, but it'll have a different look in the front section. And then so down this wall it's the same. The middle section there is where the closet begins and the bathroom. Well, that'll just be painted inside, and then wallpaper on the back third. Used Uncle Dave's nail gun and staple gun yesterday for the paneling in this shelf and made life super easy. So then I did all of the ground wire leads for the lights all the way across. And today I'll do the same in the back. So today the back reconstruction or rebuild begins. And that basically consists of two units, two framed pieces that run across the back. One in the lower portion, and that's what the cargo door goes inside. And then one in the upper portion, and that's what the rear window goes inside. So I'm going to put those together, and then they just get installed, and then have a couple of pieces to put off the end. But it looks like over here somehow that section there beneath the wires, the distance between the end of the wall and the end of the floor is greater than the distance on this side. So I'm going to have to do some modifications so it ends up in the same place. Let me finish up the back. And Denise has started the insulation. We'll finish that up today. And then I ran the new ground wire. So we got this nice copper ground wire. You see that goes down through the stud and down through the floor. And I got these connectors, and I'm going to bring my soldering gun next week, and I'll put a connector on the ground and solder it, and then that gets bolted to the frame. For the main breaker, and then I'll do another one up in the front corner where I connect all the wires in the front, all the 12-volt power and hookups for the lights and everything. So I'll ground that to a different bolt up in the front. So that's the plan for today. I'm going to put the back together, insulate it, wrap it, start to put the skin back on. Bud Miller is coming together.